This is Kathy from Gadget Stop 321, and in today's video I'm going to be testing the water resistance of the orange inks in my collection, and at the end of the video I'm going to compare my daughter's new glass nib dip pen to my own. As usual with these water resistance tests, I dipped my pen in ink, scribbled off a little bit of the excess, and did the writing sample. And I'm going to use a paintbrush and water to do a smear test. And the inks I've included today are the orange inks in my collection, KWZ Standard Grapefruit, which in real life maybe has a little more red to it, but I still consider it a orangish ink. Iroshizuku Fuyu-gaki, which in real life is a little bit brighter than this. Iroshizuku Yu-yaki, and look at that sheen. Noodler's Apache Sunset, Lamy Mango, and Colorverse Golden Record I included on my water resistance test for brown inks, but depending on what nib I use this in, sometimes it can come across like a baked pumpkin pie orange. So I included it in this writing sample also. Okay, first I'm going to do the smear test. Wow, Standard Grapefruit did better than I thought it would. Fuyu-gaki, that's surprising. Noodler's Apache Sunset, it smeared. I guess I should zoom in for this. Lamy Mango, I did a sad face on this one because out of all of these, this was the least pleasant to write with in the glass pen. I had trouble with the ink wanting to grab onto the page or not wanting to grab onto the page, and it's kind of a pale ink to begin with, so that's just a bad combination. And Colorverse Golden Record, it smears quite a bit. Now, this writing sample is a little bit different than I normally do. I did this writing sample yesterday, and looking at these, they all smeared. The top two didn't smear as bad as the rest of them, but I don't know if that could be because they had a little bit longer to dry. Next, I'm going to submerge the writing sample in water for several minutes and see how much of the ink is left behind. Okay, let's give it one last little shake. All right. Okay, I wonder if my results would have been different if I had not let this writing sample set for 24 hours, because I do know my daughter has played with Iroshizuku Fuyu-gaki before, and she did a water test and it just washed completely away. But she did the, dunked it in water, or maybe she ran it underwater not long after writing it. But the only one that I would say has any kind of water resistance is Colorverse Golden Record, and this is the same results I got when I tested it with the other brown inks. And Colorverse Golden Record is just so cool to see the ink lifting off of it in a rainbow of yellows and oranges and reds. Okay, I'll set this to the side. And I wanted to show my daughter's dip pen because I've mentioned before that this is a Roaring Cleaner dip pen, and I love it. It's beautiful. It just sits on my desk. I've got my little pen stop that I bought from Mike and Audrey Madison, and it looks really good with my pen. The only issue I have with my pen is how long the nib is. But I just use it for writing samples and stuff. I don't actually use it for writing notes or letters or sentences of any kind. So it's nice for testing inks. But some dip pens do have a shorter, fatter nib. I know those little Moonman nibs, or Moonman dip pens that lots of people use, have a shorter, fatter nib. And when my daughter decided that she wanted to get a dip pen, I let her pick one out. And I just did a search. I didn't go to Jet Pens or any particular store. I just did a search. And she found one on Pinterest that she liked. And it turns out, when I bought mine, this was the kind of pen I was looking for, and I couldn't find one. Mike Madison uses a pen similar or maybe identical to this one on his channel, this bamboo pen that has a glass nib. And so when my daughter picked this one out, I thought, oh, that's the kind of pen I wanted. But, you know, I don't want one enough to spend the extra money to get one. And hers cost about the same as mine. Both of these were around $30 each. But after she got hers, I compared it to mine, and the nib is only slightly shorter. So even if I did get one like this, I would have the same issue with the nib being kind of long. So I'm happy with mine. It's a pretty pen, and it just sits here on my desk. She'll be going to college next year, so I guess it's good that she got one that has a cap on it. And, you know, traveling to and from college, she's got the box that she can put it in. But, oh, I'm not going to actually dip it in ink, but just maybe see if there's a noticeable difference in smoothness. Glass nibs aren't known for smoothness. Nah, they're about the same. So I'm happy that she was able to get this one, and overall, I'm happy with my pen. All right, if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.